Eve Radio Live, powered by TCS Wi-Fi.
And right now it is all about the virtual Simola Hillclimb that kicks off on Monday. On the line we've got Ian Shrosbree. He's the organizer. He's very well known, of course, in the circles, the racing circles and car circles here in our area. And he is going to tell us all about it, especially what's happening on Monday. Ian, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ian. Lovely to be with you and with your listeners. And thank you for the invite.
Yes, good to have you, man. How's it going your side?
Yeah, not bad considering. COVID obviously for the events industry hasn't been a great space to be in. We're fighting on. We aim to run the main event, main hill climb in September, and hopefully we'll be able to have some spectators by that time. It's been a bit of a challenging time for us as event organisers, but we have to look for the bright side of life and the positives. So that's what we're trying to do, and we're very fortunate. We've got a good event and a good brand, so that's helped us a lot during this time.
So Ian, obviously you had to, like so many people, you had to evolve and say, okay, look, we need to do something virtual. And I mean, how can we do it? And where do you start with that? I mean, how do you even start with this virtual side of it? I mean, it's not for everyone to understand.
No, absolutely. It took me a long time to get my head around it. And fortunately for us, we actually started looking at it before COVID even, because I saw the growth of e-racing and sim racing and esports over the last, let's say, 5 years. It started growing. It started its growth trajectory. And with the hill climb being a once-a-year event, we were always looking for ways to keep it alive during the year, rather than just peak for a month a year and keeping people's consciousness. So about 18 months ago, I started looking at esports and sim racing to see, what we could do in that space. So I did a lot of background research, got some ideas in my head, and then started looking for some partners. And as COVID came, and I mean, obviously there were a lot of guys jumping on the bandwagon and didn't find the right partner at the time. But in about June last year, I came across Monarch Events and 80K Studios. They linked to 80K, and they're one of the biggest players in South Africa, in the esports industry. And it just was a good fit. We aligned on objectives, the way we do things, doing it properly, doing it professionally. And so we started the talks in June, and then started scanning track and getting all that side of things done, which took a long time. And 80K's designers and that were really good with that. But there are a lot of so many elements that go into it, and never mind just the building of the track, the technicalities, and the type of events you run. So it's still a bit of a learning curve for us as we go along. The nice thing is the track's designed, and that's great. It's the first hill climb track in the world, of a real hill climb track. The Assetto Corsa platform we run on have got a hill climb track, but it's just a fictitious one they created. So we're actually the first hill climb in the world to have done a esports track or a game track. So we're quite proud of that fact. The competition, we start off on Monday, as you alluded to. We start our first active competition on the game. And it's 4 rounds and then a final, which will take place on the date that we were meant to run the proper hill climb. And then during the year going on, we'll see how that evolves. So we're trying a format now with 4 qualifying rounds and a final. How it evolves during the year and ongoing for future years, we're not sure if we'll run a league system or we'll just keep it as knockouts, or maybe a combination of both. It's all a moving target, and we'll learn as we go along.
Yeah, it's all new, but it's fantastic. It sounds so cool. So I see that people can already download is it like software, or what do you download exactly, Ian?
Yeah, so what it is you have to take to a platform. So a lot of people who already do sim racing, and that will have a platform called Assetto Corsa on their machines. If they don't, they can download it. It's for PCs only at this stage, unfortunately. So PlayStation and Xbox, it doesn't work on that platform. It's PC only. So they can download the Effecta Corsa platform. If they don't have it on computer, it's $130 to download it. It's a dollar term, so roughly $130. And once they've done that, then they can download our game onto that, which there's no charge for. We're not charging for it at all. And yeah, then they can play as many times as they like at home, in the comfort of their own home. And then for the competitions, they need to register a time slot on our servers. So any time between Monday and Saturday next week, they can book a time. And unfortunately, we've got 7 servers, and each server, so we can run about 7 people at one time. But if they book their time, and then they set the quickest time up the hill, and the quickest one will be recorded and go towards the leaderboard. Because it's a bit of a unique event in being a start and stop hill climb, we can't have more than one person on each server at any one point in time. So if we find that we overloaded with requests at any one time, or we see not everyone's going to have a go, we'll add more servers to it. But we're not like a full-on virtual circuit racing where they can have thousands of people online at any one time, because everyone's doing laps. It's slightly different. It's given us a bit more of a challenge technically, but still, I mean, we feel that there's a week to play the game, and 7 at any one time. It gives us a lot of opportunity over the hours we've got for everybody to have a go.
So, Ian, obviously it needs a good internet connection. Any requirements? What are the minimum requirements for your connection?
I think at the moment, probably, I think everything's a minimum of 25 meg now with OpenServe. But anywhere from 10 meg up should be absolutely fine. Obviously, the faster the internet, you won't, the better, just from a stability point of view. But I think that, there's no real lag. It's not like other games where, like Minecraft or where you're building something, or I'm trying to think of the other big game, sorry, it escapes me, where you're having an active war against somebody, and lag can really hold you back. Obviously, while you're going up the hill, you don't want lag, but it's a very short, it's 30 seconds, and you set your time. So the chance of lag affecting it are a lot lower than when you're competing actively against somebody else at the same time, because you're setting your time on your own. So anything from a 10 meg line up would be absolutely 100%. And as I say, I think the minimum now on fiber line is 25 anyway. So everybody should have more than enough speed and bandwidth for it.
Are you worried about load shedding at all? How will that affect it?
We're not obviously in everyday life, yes, but for this, not really, because we've got such a long time period to set the time. If we had said that, okay, you have to only play between 8 to 9 o'clock on Thursday evening, like so many games are, and one part of the country's got load shedding at that time, and the other part doesn't have, it would be a problem for us. But the fact that the guys have got a week to set their time, and if load shedding does happen during their time they've booked, they can always just book another time. So load shedding shouldn't affect anybody being able to play the game.
But I see that your downloads are doing really well. In fact, you had to create another link for people to download it. So people have really been flooding it and getting the downloads.
They have. It's been amazing. Day one that we opened the download, about 350 times. It was downloaded about 350 times, and
sure.
That kind of crashed the Dropbox. The way it works is the downloads from the Dropbox.
Okay.
So we had to create another one, and I'm assured that no matter how many people download now, it won't crash. It's a much bigger system, or I'm not 100% sure the technicalities, but I'm sure it won't crash. So, but yeah, that shows how much interest there's been in it. That in less than one day, we had 350 downloads. It's quite phenomenal, actually.
Yeah, no, that's very impressive. Ian, just lastly, how do we download it? How do we get it?
Okay, so the easiest way is to go to our website, which is www.simolahillclimb.com. And then just follow the links. At the top, there's a virtual Simola Hillclimb bar. And if you just click there and follow the links there are links on that page that you go to from there, and then just follow from there. It's the easiest way to download.
Okay, cool. And then this is really lastly now. Tell me about your involvement also with the Knysna Oyster Festival this year.
Yes, so beginning of last year, Knysna Rotary Club approached us and asked us if we would look at running the Knysna Cycle Tour for them. They own it. And they said, because we've done such a good job with the hill climb, would we be interested? So we took it on. And obviously then last year we also had to cancel that as part of the Oyster Festival. But yeah, for this year we're aiming to definitely run it in July as part of the Oyster Festival. And so Knysna Cycle Tour, yeah, it's another string to our bow and another event for us to get our teeth into. And we really hope to, create a really exciting event and to get it to where it kind of used to be. At one stage, it was South Africa's one of the absolute most popular mountain bike races. Currently there are a lot of mountain bike races, so it's difficult we've got a lot of competition, but we hope to, over the next few years, introduce a few interesting things and hopefully attract people back to Knysna for the Oyster Festival and for the Knysna Cycle Tour in particular.
Yeah, this is exciting. I love it, how you're moving with the times. There's just, no other choice. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you. We'll talk again soon.
Super, yeah, and we can talk about cycle tour because we've also doing some virtual stuff on that level. So, when we've got more time, I know you're running out of time, we can have a chat about that. I'd like to look forward to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ian, thank you so much. Have a lekker weekend.
Thanks, Ian. You too. Thanks for having me on the show.
Cool. Cheers, man. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.